You'd think being part of a gated community means privacy, peace, and security. But no one warned me about HOA Karen, a woman who thought her clipboard was a badge and her spare key was a search warrant. This happened last month, and honestly, I'm still shaking my head over it. I'm a retired police officer, and after 30 years in the force, I decided to move to a quiet lakeside neighborhood. The house I bought used to belong to a friend of mine who passed away, and it came with a bit of a complicated HOA. But I figured, how bad could it be? Turns out, very bad. From the day I moved in, Karen, the HOA president, made herself known. She showed up the first night with a welcome packet, which was basically a list of threats disguised as rules. She lectured me about approved curtain colors, lawn height, and guest parking limits. I tried to be polite. "Ma'am," I said, "I'm just getting settled in. I'll read through the packet tomorrow." She narrowed her eyes. "We expect compliance immediately." And from that moment, I knew she'd be trouble. For the next few weeks, she made my life miserable. Notices about non-compliant garbage cans, complaints about unauthorized visitors, which turned out to be my grown daughter dropping off groceries. And one day, she actually measured my mailbox post because she said it looked too tall. But then came the incident. One Saturday morning, I had a few officers over. We were going over some community safety outreach plans. Basically, an informal meeting in my living room. I had left my cruiser parked outside, and that must have triggered Karen's violation radar. Around 9:30 a.m., one of the officers saw someone creeping around near my side gate. "Hey, you expecting anyone?" he asked. "Nope," I replied. A few minutes later, I heard the sound of metal scraping. I moved to the front hall and froze. The doorknob was turning. Then came the sound of a key sliding into the lock. Someone on the other side was trying to unlock my front door. I signaled to the guys quietly. 2 officers moved to the sides of the entryway, one hand resting near his holster. I stood back, watching the handle twist again, and then the door opened. And there she was, Karen, clipboard in hand, purse slung over her shoulder, looking like she was about to perform a home inspection. The moment she saw us, 3 uniformed police officers and me standing behind them, her jaw dropped. She froze mid-step, hands still on the knob. "Ma'am," one officer said calmly, "you just entered a private residence without permission," Karen stammered. I have authority. This property falls under HOA jurisdiction." Another officer raised an eyebrow. "So, you have a warrant?" Her face went from red to ghost white. "And no, but the HOA has a key for emergency inspections." I stepped forward, arms crossed. "And what emergency would that be, Karen?" She gulped. Well, there were reports of suspicious activity. I saw police cars. I thought something was wrong." "Something is wrong," I said. "You just committed criminal trespass." She blinked rapidly. "You can't charge me. I'm the HOA president." One of the officers chuckled. "That's not a legal title, ma'am. It's a volunteer position." Karen tried to regain her composure. "I was just ensuring community safety by unlocking my door." I asked, without knocking, without calling while people were inside. That's when she realized the situation was real. Her clipboard slipped from her hand and clattered to the floor. She started babbling about procedures and rights until one of the officers quietly said, "Ma'am, please step outside." We all followed her onto the porch, where I made it clear I was pressing charges. She screamed, "You can't do that." I was protecting HOA property. "Karen," I said, "this is my property." Within minutes, she was sitting on the curb while the officers took her statement. She tried calling her husband, but apparently he was at the golf course and didn't answer. Eventually, the officers wrote her up for criminal trespass and unlawful entry. They didn't handcuff her. She was trembling enough already, but she was cited, photographed, and banned from way management pending the investigation. Here's the kicker. That afternoon, her husband came to apologize. Turns out the HOA did have an emergency master key for common facilities like the pool shed and maintenance closet, not private homes. Karen had taken it.